What's good, YouTube? Back with another video. Hey, I love y'all, bro. Y'all been showing me so much love as of recent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mess with that too heavy. You know, I don't ask for much. A little like and subscribe. Maybe follow the Kick Wagmo. You know, Kick.Wagmo. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, but for real though, like, thank y'all. Like, y'all, what I've been doing, like, what? My numbers passed. Like, I don't even want to go check right now. I want to get into the video. But just know y'all been going crazy for me. I love that. Hey, little 10 likes on the video. Nothing too calm. Just a little 10 likes for the boy. The most dangerous jobs in history, or in human history. Let's get into it.
These are some of the deadliest jobs in all of history. The first job on the list is the tin opener. What's that, you may be asking? Okay, picture a dude opening a tin can.
Okay.
But the can is under 12,000 feet of water and
Okay.
surrounded by explosives.
Okay.
Now, take that mental image and replace the tin can with
Who?
a submarine. Okay, maybe the explanation could have been slight.
Who is putting big ass bombs 12 feet, that like 12,000 feet under the water? Like, I want to know who's
More
doing
clear.
that. Like, how does
Basically,
that
in
process
World War
go
I,
down?
submarines were really useful. Both sides would stuff their submarines full of secret codes and messages, knowing that more likely than not, if that submarine would be destroyed, then so would the contents of the machine. And that was mostly true. More often than not, the secret
Until
codes
they
and
hit that
messages
motherfucker with
locked
an
inside
EMP.
submarines would stay there forever, completely unrecoverable. But that didn't stop both sides from trying. Which is where these guys come in. The tin openers. Their job was to try to break into these sunken submarines to get to the secrets inside.
Is it like to crack the open, like the pressure? Like, wouldn't it like combust or some shit like that if you crack it open? Like, wouldn't it be better to like try to drag it to the top? I don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm just
this was during
goddamn
World War I.
college student.
We didn't have crazy modern diving equipment or anything of the sort. Think of a diving suit as a metal tube that just
What
happens
are the
to have
ones we see in
oxygen inside of it.
SpongeBob, bro?
I mean, look at this dude. Does that look comfortable in any way? I don't think
It
so.
looks like it could be a
But
little
the danger
comfy.
of this job wasn't just due to comfort, or even due to the suits, as a matter of fact. Think about it this way. The submarines they were looking for were at the bottom of the ocean. How'd they end up there? Most of the time, it's because they were blown up by mines. Yep, that's right. The submarines would often be in the middle of a minefield.
I'd be damned.
So even if you did every dang thing perfectly, your suit never malfunctioned and you made it all the way down, well, there's a good chance a random mine will decide, my time is now, and commit genocide on
Do they explode by themselves underwater? Is that a thing?
itself. Oh yeah, and one more thing I'd like for you to keep in mind. The way they got into these subs wasn't by just opening a door. Nah, that'd be too safe.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
The
it
most
had to have
common
been
method
dangerous.
to get into the subs was via explosive, because
Nigga, you
why
blew
not
into
detonate
it?
a powerful explosive in the middle of a minefield? Yeah, these dudes did not have the highest of survival rates.
I wonder what the actual survival rate of this is, because no way you're using an explosive in an explosive area to blow something up that's also could be explosive.
But they're nothing compared to some of the jobs coming up next. It only gets more deadly from here. Next up, we got the lime burners. To understand what a lime burner does, first you need to understand what quicklime is. It's got a ton of uses. The main ones historically used are holding buildings up and burning people's eyes out.
Oh,
So maybe those two functions have given you a small idea
little
as to why
spicy.
it's so deadly. The role of lime burners was to put this stuff together inside of factories.
So
Don't
Walter
worry,
White,
quicklime
but
isn't
legally.
reactive or explosive in any way. Unless it comes into contact with water. And I mean water in any form. Like, for example, sweat.
Wait.
Hey, did I mention that quicklime is created inside of a furnace at 1500 degrees Fahrenheit? Truly unfortunate. The situation a lot of the time would end up with the quicklime reacting to water in some way, mostly to the detriment to the worker. To get a truly good picture of
How much do you get paid to do like dangerous jobs like these? Like being set on fire because I decided I had to sweat because it was hot as fuck. I don't even want to get
what
into it.
happens when you come
That's
into
wild.
contact with it, allow me to read out the list of symptoms. Coughing, sneezing, and labored breathing to begin with. After that, it evolves. In
Oh.
this stage, it can burn holes in the nasal septum, which is the thing that separates your nostrils. It can cause extreme abdominal pain and vomiting. Also, I just want to throw this in here. It can also produce enough heat to light things around it on fire. Quick public service announcement to any lime burners in the audience. Try not to touch quicklime. It's not beneficial to your health. Glad I could help. No need to thank me. There was one time a Roman general was fighting these dudes named the Characatani, who had managed
No
to hide
way.
in caves that the Romans couldn't access.
No way.
Instead of charging blindly into the caves and losing all of his men, The Roman general decided to use the old military strategy of flinging stuff at them until they surrender or die. In this case, the stuff was quicklime powder.
How the
The
fuck you
general had
flake
his men
quicklime
pile up
powder?
large mounds of limestone dust at the entrance of the cave. The Charikatani didn't think much of it at first, but the next day the wind blew the quicklime into the cave, and the Charikatani began to suffer immensely, choking on the dust as their eyes and throats were severely irritated. After 3 days of complete suffering, the Charikatani surrendered. That's a pretty terrifying substance to
I mean,
work
at least
with.
they lived.
You know another
Shit.
pretty
I
terrifying
guess a
substance to
couple.
work with?
Some of them.
That's right, military-grade explosives. Welcome to the wonderful career known as being a petardier. You heard the saying, hoisted by your own petard?
Hoisted by your
That was
own
about
petard.
these dudes, the petardiers. Okay, I've been saying that word a lot, but what does it mean? Well, a petard is a cone-shaped thing full of explosive material.
Oh,
It was used often during wars.
well, you
because
just chuck
when
that
you're
bitch like a
attacking someone's
football.
castle, the main obstacle between you and their vast riches is often the giant walls.
Okay.
So to overcome said obstacle, some dude had the genius.
Were castles actually like a thing back in the day? Like, were there actually just big ass castles just hoisted up everywhere around Europe and all over that area and shit? Like, and if there were, like, where's the remnants? Like, I don't know if I've just never seen a fucking remnants of like these big ass castles they be talking about, but nigga, I'm just saying.
Idea to create this thing, the petard. You fill it with explosive powder, attach it to a weak point in the wall, and light it. At that point, it's a mad
okay.
dash to cover.
It's not bad.
This was one of the most dangerous parts of the job. Think about it. Petards aren't light. They often took like 4 guys to carry, and you're carrying it through an active battlefield
shit.
towards the enemy
Hell
castle.
nah.
The enemy knows how dangerous that thing is. So they're doing everything in their power to crack your skull, or to even set off the petard. If by some miracle you make it to the weak point in their castle wall, which I'd like to add is the most heavily defended, then you have to affix a live bomb to the wall. You stand there, light it, then sprint full speed in the other direction.
Imagine you're lighting it, somebody just hits that arrow on it.
By your own petard comes from the fact that being blown up by your own bomb was incredibly common. What an interesting profession. Next up, we got the sappers.
Who is? I just uploaded that fucking clip by accident.
A great fit for this job.
Fuck me.
That's because the sappers were miners, but not normal miners. These guys would only work during battles, tunneling underneath the battlefield in the hopes of getting to the enemy castle. They would tunnel all the way under a battlefield towards the enemy castle, stone by stone. As they went, they would support the tunnel with wooden beams to prevent it from collapsing. Once they got there, they would just start removing the foundation stones to try to destroy the castle. Once they removed enough, they would light a fire and burn down the wooden timbers holding up the tunnel, then sprint out of there as the tunnel collapsed. These guys were actually some of the most effective fighters on the whole battlefield.
No way these dudes are collapsing.
So many times the tunnel would just collapse on the sappers, crushing them in tons of dirt.
I'm about to say, if you don't build it deep enough and don't put enough support, you're fucked.
Collapse, there were plenty of other threats. First of all,
Air.
If the enemy found your tunnel, you're definitely screwed, since there's literally no escape. Second,
I mean, shit, run to the end of the tunnel.
Both sides knew how useful this tactic was, so they both used sappers. And on occasion, these miners would discover each other.
Bro, imagine your job is just to mine to the other side, and you run into some other miners, and now y'all gotta fucking scrap it out, bro. Now y'all gotta scrap it out, bro. They fighting above you fighting below them, bro.
Most often, being discovered meant death for the sappers, as enemies would just enter the tunnels and kill them.
Oh my god.
Turns out that this was actually the best and maybe only defense against them. Yeah, being a sapper was
can't beat them, join them shit.
But unfortunately, miners weren't very well respected in the military. So not only did they die incredibly often, they also weren't held in high esteem.
That's trash.
Yeah, go dig your tunnel, dirt boy. Being a sapper sounds
just know if you were my miner, I'd support you.
But at least it wasn't as horrifying as this next one. Welcome to the wonderful world of being a plague body collector.
Oh my
Europe,
god.
mid-1300s. The Black Plague hits the continent like a truck, filled with plague. People were dying by the thousands. The thousands of thousands. Otherwise known as the millions.
God
damn. As bodies piled up in streets and houses,
50 mil?
the job of moving those bodies out of cities fell upon one group of people. A heroic bunch, known as
I
the
thought it was
body
blurred. I'm like,
collectors.
damn, what are we blurring pictures
And
we're showing?
yes, it's exactly as glamorous as it sounds. The job consisted of breaking into dead people's homes, checking for said dead people, grabbing the corpses, loading them onto a cart, and then moving on to the
Wait,
next house.
so
There were a shit ton-
are people like this, like, do they have to know if they're immune or not, or are they just like fucking risking it all going and picking up dead people
of
who are already
bodies to
affected?
collecting the Black Plague. Ironically, body collection was one of the most stable careers around that time because
Whoa.
everyone was dying to plague. It was a bit of a trend. Unfortunately for the body collectors,
How long did the plague last? Like, was it like years of just people dying over and over? Or was it just like a quick sweep, like a year, maybe two?
it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Who knew, right? The funny thing about the Black Plague was that it spreads insanely fast and efficiently.
Oh shit!
And if you're coming into contact with bodies all day, things don't look too good
Literally!
for your survival odds. A ton of body collectors would die from the plague. And let me tell you, it was not pretty. The main sign of the bubonic plague was buboes. The victim would be covered in these black spots that were filled with pus, and that would occasionally explode.
Ooh.
As the plague attacked your body and your condition reached critical levels, you would start to cough blood before a final seizure would take you down. So yeah, pretty
God
nasty stuff.
damn!
One of the main strategies of the body collectors was known as corpse lasagna, whereby they dug an incredibly deep pit. Then they'll throw corpses into said pit, then throw dirt on them. Then they'd add more corpses, and so on until the pit is filled.
Ew.
And they do it again. Hence the name, lasagna. Despite all the horrors, being a body collector was a very desired job.
I mean, shit. I don't know who's desiring to go pick up dead bodies and then die yourself. That's a little wild. But I mean, it's got to be great fertilizer. So shit.
Not for the safety and fun of the job itself, but because those dudes got paid so much.
There it is.
I mean, you'd have to be paid a ton.
You literally would have to be paid, like-
chance of horrifying death. Yeah, being a body collector was a cruel and thankless job.
Who made
But
it
you know
out?
what? At least people weren't actively trying to kill you. Which unfortunately was the case with our next job. Okay, maybe they weren't trying to kill you specifically, but maybe indirectly. That's because our next job is food taster.
Oh my god, the
This was a
fucking
person
food
that would
taster
be
for the
assigned to
king,
someone
bro.
who might be the target.
If y'all know who Clax McClab is, bro, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, bro. Basically, the fucking brain rot general, the brain rot commander, brain rot HQ, and he's sitting at the top on his fucking evil throne. Bro, he was doing the fucking taste tester, and you got the taste for poison, bro. It's just too funny. It's the only reason I know about this.
Before every meal, the food taster would, guess what? Taste a bit of said person's food. The point was to see if the food was poisoned. And if it was, things wouldn't fare too well for the food taster.
Oh my god.
If an assassin
bro.
wanted to get to the king, they'd have to get through his food taster first. Which wasn't that hard because they're just dudes, and those dudes died a lot.
Literally,
Kings
bro.
would burn through food tasters like crazy.
So, nigga, like, you know he has a food taster and you're still poisoning? Like, at this point, you're just hoeing the nigga that's got to do his job. Like, god damn, spare this nigga or something shit.
There was one interesting story involving Cleopatra and a food taster. Cleo and Mark Antony were in a relationship, but a bit of a sketchy one. You know, the classic troubles new couples go through. She was a bit of a maniac. He was worried she wanted to kill him. Little stuff like that.
She was worried he wanted to kill
But never fear, because dearest Cleo had a solution to his worries. See, Mark Antony had a food taster. And remember, food tasters aren't rich, so therefore they don't matter. Cleo told Mark to put a flower from her garland into his drink, then told him to drink it. He was about to do it, but then Cleo told him to stop, and got his food taster to drink it instead. The food taster didn't really have a choice in the matter, and he took a drink. Within minutes, he was dead. Cleo then goes, "If I wanted to kill you, I could have." Now, this was supposed to be a story about how cool Cleopatra is.
Yo,
but
what the fuck, Cleo? Yo! I'm not gonna lie. Dude, these old, like, the older, like, back in the day, these motherfuckers used to be ruthless, bro. Evil, conniving. Like, people see all these nice, fun stories about, like, back in the old days. Those are the rich people. Those are the people who, you know what I'm saying, made a, you know what I'm saying, had, like, a say and shit. Nigga, all of us are these niggas that's died right here. We're not living these luxury lives, nigga. We're going fucking tasting that food for 3 cents on the dollar. Oh, fuck no, bro. Hell nah. Her ass tripping too. Oh no.
I can't help but feel bad for this food taster.
Gotta
and all
feel
the others
bad,
that came
bro.
before him. It's just pretty messed up, you know?
That's
He
fucked.
was used just as a prop. That shows how dangerous their jobs were. They could be killed at a moment's notice.
That's
So,
sad.
those were some of the worst jobs in human history. Now click this video over here for more cool history.
Okay, most painful deaths. We fuck around and watch that too. Hey, YouTube, like and subscribe. Thank you for all the support. If we could reach 10 likes, if you already finished it, I love you, YouTube. I'm gonna catch you.